All right, guys, starting this one out. We left off the last video with, showing you the body back on the chassis of the 55, as well as the engine getting all bolted up with the trans for mock-up. So here it is. I finished getting the bell housing bolted up with just some mock-up bolts. And this is kind of what I was describing when you set the engine in. See how much of an angle the engine sits at? And then you can actually see the carb plate here is flat. And that's how you want it. You want that level. And the engine actually sits at about a 5 to 7 degree rake. So we'll show you more of that when we go to set it down in the car. So right now I got to get the engine mounts bolted on it. And I got the trans mount on it with a couple bolts ready. So basically what we'll do is set that thing down in there, set it on the mount, get the mount squared where we want it to position the engine, and then be able to weld it in place where we want it. And I just got to clean up where the old engine mounts were and go from there. Okay, got the engine mounts on and cleaned up. So got the edges cleaned up to weld. Got the welder out and got the old welds ground off and smoothed out. So we're gonna get this thing set down in there and see how it goes. All right, as you just saw, we got it in there and we got it sitting perfectly level. And you can kind of see the engine is at about a 5 degree or so rake. And you can tell how badly this was set up prior to us building it. So it's way off there, and that tells you the frame rails used to be pinched together too far, as well as being crooked, which is why we did all this. So we're gonna get a new front mounts coming and use those, and we're gonna pull this thing back out for now and get it out of the way. All right, left off, showing you guys mocking up the BigBlock and the gasser. So we showed you why the engine mounts won't work and what we're going with. I'll show you that when they come in, which they should be in tomorrow. Worst case, we'll be on it Monday morning. But as for now, I'll kind of show you guys what I'm doing. Nothing spectacular. So the beginning of this will probably be a little bit of a boring video, but we got this. Don't mind it being super dusty. We haven't wet sanded or buffed the fenders yet, but got this 33 Plymouth that we've done. And this truck was literally in boxes because they never really made Plymouth trucks. They made about 250 of them. So this is a pretty rare truck. Literally was in boxes and had to hand make a lot of stuff for this. So it's a pretty big deal. I spent a lot of time on this truck. So, but we'll go more over this when we get it fired up. So I'll probably film the first fire up on it and some things like that. And then when it's done, since I don't have a lot of this truck filmed, I'll do a cool overview video to show what the truck started as and where it's at now and why we did what we did with it and stuff like that. So that ought to be pretty neat. So we got it over on the lift to address the brake issue amongst some of the finishing wiring touches. And we got the gasser back here in the back of the shop, ready to start on the quarter arches, as well as the driver's side rear trunk area. And I'm kind of cleaning the shop up right now, which is why all this stuff's everywhere, getting some stuff moved and organized and whatnot. So we're gonna get that cleaned up today, and then we'll be back on this bad boy after I get it all cleaned up. So I guess the next clip you'll see me getting started on probably the trunk area. All right, we're back, got some more cleaning done. So everything's looking a little bit better. We got our welding table out. Boss is gonna be making some pretty cool, I know it's not hot rod related, but he's gonna make some cool wine racks for a friend of his. So he's getting some of his mini Sprint parts piled up on here so he can organize it and take it home with him and put it with the cars. And then other than that, we just gotta clean up some of this stuff, and this will be ready to go back in once those new mounts come in. Yeah, I got all the gasser stuff over here. Here's all the transmission related stuff. So that's good. So we got it over here, got most of the parts there, got the fender well exit headers right there, got the bumper, and then got this back open so I can start working on that corner like I did here and get the trunk bolts out, get the rest of the door bolts in. So I definitely got enough to keep me busy until those engine mounts come in, but that should be a pretty exciting one when the engine mounts come in so we can actually get all that in there and then put together a video of welding up the front end. So the engine portion might and welding might be in this video. I'm not 100%, but if not, it'll be in the one following this one because I know this one's kind of boring. But so that's why I might make it or include it in this one. So go from there. Something else forgot to update. Got this guy already. Got the coolant temp sensor hooked up, oil pressure gauge hooked up. We ended up getting an adapter for this Holly. So got a carburetor for it and got it all bolted together. Let's see what else. The thermostat housing for the test stand is got its gaskets and ready to go on. Got the oil cap finally for the valve cover. Let's see. Got the lower radiator hose cut and ready. Larry got that ready this morning. It's ready for hose clamps. Ready for hose clamps up here. So pretty sure we'll be firing this thing tomorrow. We'll be getting a battery hooked up and get the cables hooked up, get the distributor dropped in and set properly, get timing set, and hopefully the next clip here will be us cranking this thing over and getting it fired up for the first time. Okay, we got our battery in, got our plug wires in. Let's see, we made a little IV stand here, so we got it hung up, got it hooked up to the carb. So we're gonna get some power to this thing so we can spin it around and get number one on top dead center so we can get our timing set and all that. So we'll check back in with you after we get that done and get it fired up.
Watch it now,
Ryan. All right, unhooked it.
Oh.
Can we hook it back up? Okay.
Yeah, it'll tell me what it's doing.
We got the timing roughed in here, so we're hoping to start with 4 degrees advance. And yeah, I think we're pretty much ready. So waiting on Larry to take a pee.
So nice. Got fuel, got oil, right?
Got oil, I finished topping it off.
Had good oil pressure too last time
we spun it with a little electric drill and got 30 pounds on a dead spin.
You got fuel. That's tight.
Everything's clear.
It's clear.
Got your starter button? Okay.
Every clear, the exhaust over there?
Yeah, we're good.
That didn't take much.
Nope. Looks like we're going to go ahead and hook the fuel pump up to it because I think we're having problems with the gravity feed with it just starting for fuel. So we're going to get that hooked up and then fire it back up. Would you guys like me to turn the fuel on?
Yeah.
Yes.
We got to watch for fuel leaks too.
Okay. As you can see, we got our pump hooked up now. So
It's all right.
Okay, we got 12 volts again. Make sure we kind of keep an eye at the bottom, make sure we got no fuel leaks anywhere when the fire.
I got the valve opened up.
That gas behind the exhaust.
That'd be a good place for it.
Okay.
show you guys what I'm getting into on these doors. So this whole time, this body has been on the lift, so we couldn't really, I mean, we have the angled lift posts, but you can only open the doors so far. And the only thing that's been in here has been these little set screws. And that's what's been holding the doors in place, and it kind of still wobbles. So got to get the rest of the door bolts in. So I'm going to get on that real quick, and hopefully that'll get these doors aligned just a little bit better. I just had one of those super awesome moments where you're, putting these inner door bolts in, and when I drug my ratchet and socket back out, had a shorty socket on there. When I pulled it back out, it hit that lip, popped off, and fell down in the A-pillar. So now I got the joys of getting that out before I can finish putting these bolts in. So, yep. All right, we were lucky enough to get the engine mount stuff in for the gasser today. So here's the front engine plate. There's the biscuit mounts and the other side of for those guys there, which will mate up right here. So basically what the goal is we'll get this thing back up in the air. We'll get it set back down in the car with the trans mount, and kind of get it back and squared where we want it. And we'll be able to see exactly where we need to put the mount. Okay, we got it all set down in there. So it's in position, got the trans mount in it as well. So it's not like tacked in or anything, but it is close to where we need it. We kind of got the weight off the engine for the weekend, but this is about how it'll look. So got just enough clearance in there, which depending on where we want the engine, we might dimple the firewall just a little bit. And here's the new front mount on as well. So now we're gonna have to fabricate some ends here off the frame to get the mounts to come out for the rubbers here. And then, like I said, I'll tack that trans mount in place once we know all that stuff up front's finalized. All right, we're gonna leave that off right there. Got the engine in it, got it mocked up like I showed you. So basically what we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna get all that stuff finalized Monday, get the mounts welded in. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and leave it off there. Had a pretty good one getting the BigBlock fired up as well as getting this thing in. So I guess the engine gods were smiling upon us today. So that'll be it for this one. Give us a like and go ahead and comment and subscribe. We're out.